Hello and welcome to this Warcraft free play. This is going to be the first of a best of 5 series. This is going to be the losers bracket of the YSL. Now, when I say losers bracket, I don't mean that these guys are it. These guys don't have a chance of getting to the grand finals. It's not that kind of losers bracket. It's more like what is it? How should I describe it as? Like last series is probably like first seed versus second seed, and this is like third seed versus fourth seed. But surprisingly enough, first and second don't have a chance of both getting into the grand finals. So yeah, a little confusing, but hopefully guys will understand this weirdness. It's actually the first time I've casted a tournament that uses a losers slash winners bracket system to seed their grand finals, but yeah, it's first time for everything, I guess. It's a little weird, but either way. And most of you will be, I guess, very surprised to see who the losers, or the players in the losers bracket are. It's actually the two titans of the human race. We have Yumiko, the red human player on the top right. And yeah, I mean, he lost to Shishi. This could have been like assumed, like he purposely threw against his series against Shishi to maybe face against Tho instead of Infi. Who knows? But I'm not assuming anything here. He's going Archmage first, which I guess, you know, common. He's been doing that ever since the beginning of the tournament. I don't recall him doing that many different things early on. The map's on Plunder Isles as well, so don't expect too much crazy things. Expect those from Infi. And his opponent is surprisingly going human. It's going to be Tho, the other of the two titans of the human players. But he is like Infi. He's going Mountain King first. Again, it most likely has to do with the matchup instead of the map. It could also depend on the playstyle, since we've had Yumiko not go for the Mountain King first in the many times that we have seen the MK first. And of course Plunder Isles. So yeah, let's see how this will turn out. Seeing as it's the best of 5, we will definitely have at least 3 games, so we might be seeing a whole range of maps, despite it being like the common maps. So yeah, curious to see what either both players are going to go for, either expand first or tech first. It looks like Yumiko's setting up for an expansion himself. He's done this before. I think it was Yumiko that did this before. I think it was during his match against Infi. No, actually that is completely mistaken. It was, I believe, Infi that did it against his series with Shishi. Either way, Yumiko will be applying the early pressure himself this game. It's pretty standard. If you go and harass, you go and expand. If you go and expand, you go and harass. It just like directs the attention of your opponent elsewhere. So yeah, both heroes are going to get level 2. Archmage did get a little later, but that's only because he was looking for footman kills. So yeah, we do have double elementals out, so they might pose a problem. They are pretty tough to kill, so most likely not even going to be bothered in fighting them. We did have a Stormbolt and try to surround that Archmage, but the stun doesn't last too long against heroes, so it didn't, I guess, create the opportunity that was desired by Tho. We do have these peasants undoubtedly dying heroically as they were abandoned by the Mountain King. And yeah, not much to actually say, to be fairly honest. No expand attempts for Tho, unfortunately, but Yumiko does have his fully completed and saturated. I believe saturated. I think it has 5 peasants in the gold mine. But that might not be for long, as the Mountain King has other plans. He's managed to kill 1 of those peasants, but many more many more come in their militia form, hoping to fend off against this attack. Doesn't appear to be too successful, so Tho is going to retreat for now. He is moving a bunch of peasants, hoping to go for another expand attempt. So far, he is really behind. He hasn't even considered going Keep Tech, which is, you know, the alternative that usually other players would go for. If their expand is delayed severely, then they go Keep Tech, just so they don't fall behind in terms of like a sufficient army composition. But it does seem like that Tho's just concentrating on that second base, even though he is really, really behind. I mean, he could speed build this, but that would just take so much resources that it would be like nigh impossible for him to afford a keep at the same time. So yeah, this is a really, really bad let's just try that again. Really bad predicament. Damn, that's a really hard word, even though I do like saying it. Yeah, it's a really bad situation for Tho to be in. He is behind in a base, and Yumiko's also nearly done with Keep Tech. He is just past the 60% mark, so yeah, he really needs to get his gears into action. Do we have the Keep Tech available? We do not. Well, supply block. Things are not going really well for Tho. As you can see, 36 versus 43, we already have a clear food advantage for Yumiko. The only advantage, I guess, that could be swayed over to Tho would be the hero advantage. I believe the Mountain King is currently level 3, while Yumiko is still at 2 with his Archmage. And yeah, this footman refusing to die, or at least die easy, but he will die nonetheless. Archmage is nowhere near level 3, but that wouldn't matter too much. I believe having that second hero out will hopefully make leveling units, or leveling heroes, just a priority. We do have the Mountain King second coming out. It is going to put Yumiko at low upkeep. I would assume he's going to sacrifice some units, and it's perfect. Footman gets taken down. To be fairly honest, Yumiko, the best scenario would have been the unit dying to creeps, but dying nonetheless. Alright, level 3 Archmage versus level 3 Mountain King. Let's see what will happen now with the superior army for Yumiko. But of course the Mountain King did get a lot of damage out with his Stormbolt, so who knows, maybe the numbers advantage might not be too significant, seeing as Stormbolt could nearly one-shot a footman. And of course Carry Potion on the Mountain King, just so he can toss out more of those Stormbolts. Alright, we are going straight to Castle Tech. So Yumiko is maybe looking to go for Griffin Aviaries, especially since the fact that there's absolutely no anti-air for Tho. I mean, like back then when Infi went Griffin Aviaries, it was almost very good, but the only factor was that the Archmage can summon up to like 3 water elementals, which could heavily hinder Infi's, I guess, strategy. But in this case, Yumiko is going for a, I would say 90% guaranteed victory with those Griffin Aviaries, possibly if they are Griffin Aviaries at all. We are going to have Sanctums nonetheless, but, and a second barracks? Okay, this might not be Griffin Aviaries. I mean, my only assumption is that there is just no anti-air for Tho, because he does have a melee hero and he doesn't have a hero that actually summons units. So I would have assumed that Griffin Aviaries would have been the next choice, but apparently it's going to be a whole bunch of standard stuff. The second barracks is pretty interesting. It could indicate knights coming out as a possibility, but you know, still in the assumptions here. Obviously it could just be like maybe mass riflemen for whatever reason. I have no idea. It could just be knights actually. We did have ATB score being used, as the Mountain King of Those was surrounded and took a lot of damage, so yep. Right now, I don't think Tho's in too great of a situation right now. He doesn't seem to have placed down any sort of tech. No Sanctums, no Griffin Aviaries, no Blacksmith yet. Actually, I think he saw the Blacksmith somewhere. There it is. So we do have the Blacksmith. We are also going Castle Tech for Tho. So it's going to be interesting. Yumiko might actually go for Siege Engines, but he's not. We do have Knights coming out. Usually for like a standard tier 3 castle rushing strategy, we would have Knights along with like Griffin Aviary units, but that's not going to be the case this time. We do have a single scout machine out. I believe this is a scout machine. As I mean, we only have one, so it's obviously used for its like true sight feature. Priests are coming out. We do have a second workshop for Yumiko. This could potentially just be like a siege all-in, siege tank all-in, but who knows? I mean, those going the exact same thing. Like, both players are literally mirrored. The only difference, I guess, is the timings. Since Yumiko was the first one to be the aggressor, he was able to, I guess, delay heavily Tho's, I guess, strategy. But, like, to the barest of bones, they're literally the same thing. There we go, the Stormbolt to hopefully pick up this kill, and thankfully the Arcane Tower was not the one that got the killing blow, otherwise that would have been bad. Knights have yet to get their Animal War training, and it doesn't appear to be any desire to get that upgrade just yet. In terms of upgrades, by the way, we are only at 0-0, so no upgrades whatsoever, no adept slash masters training for the priests or any spellcasters of the sort. We do have mortar teams out, and frag shells are, or frag shards are being upgraded, so there's that. Looks like it's just going to be a very, very strong slash expensive ground army for Yumiko, and I have no idea what Tho's going to go for. It looks like he's just going to go for pretty much the same thing. He's going a couple more flying machines though, so it might just be to counter any potential Griffin Aviary units. Thankfully Yumiko didn't go for that. Yeah, it's very interesting for Tho. Plus also he has Castle Tech, but he has no third hero. I thought the Paladin was the third hero, but apparently there's no second hero, so that would make him the second hero. So what is going on? I don't know. Level 4 for the Mountain King of Tho, level 2 for the Paladin of Tho as well. TP scroll is going to be used in order to save his own skin, but TP'd not to a far location, so there's going to be an attempt to try and save his base. Alright, there's the third hero coming out. Tho is going to be going for a Blood Mage, acting as a mana battery. Like, literally the Archmage serves that purpose as well, but he also serves the purpose of a like summoner unit, since he can get those elementals out, and yeah. So this is going to be a little interesting. Obviously advantage to Yumiko because he has a lot more units, even though supply doesn't say that much. I mean, you can definitely see that there's so many units out for Yumiko. Plus, Knight has been fell, so that's like a lot of food down the drain. This is still a messy fight for Yumiko, honestly. I mean, he's fighting constantly under those towers, and that is not smart, I guess. I mean, he's obviously throwing away his footmen because, well, they're pretty much useless supply anyway. He is still going to heal them up because, I mean, still got to win this fight. I mean, no intention of throwing this at all. But still, this is a rather difficult fight for Yumiko actually. Even though Tho's just holding on by a thread, he is losing quite a bit compared to, I guess, Tho. Okay, we have a second base for Yumiko on the top left, but it is being sieged by Tho, and he's using his flying machines like siege engines, because he does have the air to ground upgrades completed, so they do deal siege damage, but it's not much. Oh, there's the siege engines. Didn't see them being produced, but nevertheless they did come out. Oh, that's a lot of mortar teams that could potentially be taken out. The first one was Sanctuary, so he is TP'd back home, hopefully trying to heal up as much as possible. No mana on the Mountain King for Yumiko, so no possibilities of gaining those own MK. So yeah, Town Hall has finally been destroyed, and the siege engine is now moving out to the main base, but we do have guard towers being upgraded. Honestly, would have liked to see cannon towers instead, because they do cope better against those siege engines. Guard towers don't necessarily do that great of a job, and surprisingly enough, it looks like Tho has turned things around with his like siege engine play. Even though he hasn't necessarily destroyed much, he has created enough pressure to, I guess, force Yumiko back to his base. It's still going to be a tough fight for Tho, to be fairly honest. I mean, almost 20 food supply down. I think he is about 10 supply down. Yes, he's about 10 supply down. And of course, like, we do have like there 7 flying machines, so that counts as like 7 food. And those flying machines not necessarily worth the cost, I guess. Even though they're like dirt cheap, they still like as brittle things. Even though they cost like 1 food supply, I honestly, like, man, if they could go any lower, unfortunately they are only 1 food supply. Plus they hit for like nothing. I mean, they took forever to kill that town hall on the top left. So yeah, that's just my opinions on these flying machines. Like, they're like really great for anti-air, but in the other tasks, I mean, there's just way better units. I guess the only upside is that they only cost 1 supply, and they're like so easy to mess up. But let's see this all-out fight going on, or at least I thought it was an all-out fight, but the flying machines retreat anyway because they took so much damage. We do have Animal War trained knights, so they do have, I think, an advantage over, yep, they do have an advantage over those knights. Not upgraded, but they do have the inner fire available, so the priests are at least master trained, so they will be able to toss out more heals, and of course the buffs, very useful buffs, being able to provide additional armor as well as damage. So yeah, that's just, I mean, that's like 2 aura items in one, except it's not an aura and you have to like buff them up separately. But right now things have, I mean, it looks like a pretty much even fight, but the knights are posing a little bit of a problem for those heroes of Tho. Of course, they can be easily healed up by the paladin of Yumiko, so those knights don't actually have to be afraid of dying. We do also have Staff Sanctuary on 2 of the 3 heroes, so that's a thing. Blood Mage has been taken down, so I guess good pick off, but he is only level 1, so he's not going to take too much to actually revive back. But the only thing that Tho actually needs is time. Does he have the time to revive that hero? Doesn't look like it. The Mountain King's going to be eating storm bolts for dinner, and that is going to be game. Yeah, just, I mean, if you guys didn't assume that Yumiko was going to win after seeing Tho being like put behind so early on, then honestly you guys wish Tho for a miracle, because that was not gonna happen. Even though it was almost, I guess, perceived as a close game, I honestly thought that Yumiko had that game in the bag. Either way, I'll see you guys in game 2 of this best of 5 series.